Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the great stage of the AI-based World Championship, streaming live to viewers around the globe. Tonight's electrifying theme will settle an age-old conundrum of everyday life. Should the hole in your sock naturally appear on the toe side or the heel side? On Team A, defending the toe side hypothesis, we have Paige, who argues that the greatest pressure of each step lands on the big toe, making a hole there not only logical, but inevitable. Opposing her on Team B is Gavin, who contends that your heel endures the fiercest friction, and thus deserves its title as the sock's ultimate breaking point. Our format this evening begins with opening constructive speeches, followed by a cross-examination round, then rebuttals, and finally closing summaries. And now, without further ado, Paige, you have the floor for your opening constructive case.
Ladies and gentlemen, every day, millions of us unknowingly punish the same area of our socks, the big toe. Scientific studies of gait show that during the push-off phase, up to 60% of our forward momentum derives from the hallux, placing disproportionate pressure on the toe side. This constant friction, repeated thousands of steps, gradually wears away the fabric until a hole emerges precisely where stress is highest. In stark contrast, the heel bears weight but remains relatively stationary, sliding less inside the shoe. Test after test confirms sock damage appears sooner at the toe. Therefore, it is natural and inevitable that sock holes form on the toe side rather than the heel. Thank you.
How do you reconcile your toe wear findings with evidence that in many shoe types and during vigorous activities, heel slip and impact generate greater friction and shear forces at the heel, often causing holes there first?
Our experiments focus on normal gait, where repeated dorsiflexion and toe-off concentrate load on the ball and toes, causing micro tears over time. Biomechanical analysis shows toe-off accounts for 60% of plantar pressure, while heel contact is brief. Though vigorous sports can induce heel abrasion, these represent outliers. In standard use, toe friction and push-off pressure overwhelm heel forces, so holes appear at the toe.
Fellow debaters, consider the forces at play every time we walk or run. Our heels bear the brunt of it, rubbing against shoe linings with relentless pressure. This constant friction weakens fibers until a hole inevitably appears. And isn't it logical then that socks should yield at their most vulnerable point? If holes form at the heel, we gain a clear signal to replace or reinforce our socks before damage spreads elsewhere. By accepting heel wear as the natural destiny of our sock, we can design more durable reinforcements, improve comfort, and extend the life of every pair. Ignoring this reality only leads to surprises in the toe or sole, areas critical for protection and fit. Embracing heel wear as inevitable ensures we address the true source of wear and elevate sock design for every step we take.
You highlight heel friction, but given that during the push-off phase, the big toe area endures greater pressure, bending, and abrasion, how can the heel truly be the sock's most vulnerable point?
Toe bending during push-off does impose pressure, but it is fleeting and spread across 5 toes. By contrast, the heel endures persistent focus rubbing against stitched shoe linings with every strut. This relentless shear stress wears down fibers far faster than intermittent toe abrasion. In practice, the heel's constant friction makes it the sock's true Achilles heel.
While it's true that our heels absorb an initial impact, modern shoe design and our own ankle joints cushion that force. The real friction hotspot lies at the forefoot and big toe during push-off. Every step bends the toe, grinds the sock fibers against the insole, and forces fabric to stretch repeatedly. That constant flexing and abrasion on the toe side wears threads thin far faster than the relatively stable heel. In fact, biomechanical studies show peak plantar pressure shifts forward as we propel ourselves, concentrating stress under the big toe. If socks tore first at the heel, we'd see far fewer holes overall. The undeniable truth is that toe side damage reflects the true pressure pattern, and hands-up walking couldn't be made, and explains why most socks.
Opponents focus on toe pressure but ignore the relentless friction at the heel. With each heel strength, the foot decelerates at high force against the shoe's insole, causing the sock's heel fabric to rub repeatedly. Micro movements from slight shoe looseness and moisture produce shear forces that thin the yarn at the heel. In contrast, the big toe operates in a safe, shielded zone under the toe box with far less sliding. Independent abrasion tests show heel holes appear in 20% fewer miles of wear and toe hole. The heel side is therefore the true locus of sock failure, not the toe.
Honorable judges, opponents paint a vivid picture of heel friction, yet overlook 2 critical facts. First, every step thrusts our body weight forward, pivoting on the balls of our feet and driving relentless pressure into the big toe region. That pressure, combined with the constant bending and flexing of toe fabric, creates microscale tearing far more swiftly than heels. Second, modern sock construction often reinforces heels, recognizing that toes bear the brunt of dynamic motion, yet holes still emerge at the toe. Finally, published wear trials confirm that toes fail sooner when heel areas are comparably reinforced. In some, while heel friction exists, it is the toes' unremitting load and flex that naturally produce the first and most serious holes.
While my opponent blames toe flexion, they ignore the truth. The heel endures the heaviest impact and friction. With every step, the heel bone slams into the sock, grinding fibers against the shoe's rigid heel. Modern insoles push in forefoot push-up, and toe boxes flex gently, yet nothing softens the heel's daily pounding. Wear tests from athletes reveal heel tears twice as often as toe rip. And even reinforced toe socks can't prevent holes at the back, so far from accidental, heel damage reflects the inevitable outcome of our foot's constant impact and abrasion. So much, thus, it is the heel, not the toe, that is destined to wear through perfect.
What an electrifying showdown we've witnessed tonight between Paige and Gavin. Both debaters dug in deep, volleying arguments that had us all on the edge of our seats. From the first skirmish over toe-side tears to the final flourish defending heel-side hopes. Give it up for Paige's razor-sharp wit and Gavin's unshakable logic tonight. True champions of soft philosophy. Now is your time. Head down to the comments and cast your vote. Who do you think deserved the victory podium tonight? And while you're there, start the next great AI debate by dropping your dream topics, whether it is or left-handed chair superior, or should socks ever be worn barefoot? We want your wildest ideas. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and mark your calendars next week. We promise another unmissable clash of AI minds. Trust me, you want front row seats when we dive into more brain-bending questions. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay curious, stay conversational, and we'll see you next time on Debate AI. The idol of the brains